Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The ceremony will begin in 2 minutes. At this time, please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and thank you for attending the All for One Battalion Spring 2024 commissioning ceremony. This is an exciting moment to witness as these bright young leaders begin their Army careers. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for honors, the playing of our national anthem, and the invocation given by Father Sundrup.
Friends, family, staff, believers and non-believers alike, we come together today to honor these future leaders of our armed services. This type of thing always gives me pause. This is not just my pulpit on many Sundays. Today, while I know we are in a Catholic church on the campus of a Jesuit and Catholic university, I also recognize that my job today is to celebrate the sacrifice and care of so many people who may or may not share my own personal religious beliefs. In fact, I'm able to stand before you today and lead this invocation because of the sacrifice of so many brave men and women who do not share my beliefs. I'm here today as a proud citizen of a great nation whose Constitution respects and protects our basic human rights, including the freedom of religion. It is a precious and powerful gift. And it is this gift that is enshrined in our Constitution that these young men and women will honor and protect with their lives and their service. These young men and women have not arrived here today without great personal sacrifice. their families, their commanders, their classmates, their teachers, so many have also sacrificed to bring them here today. Thank you all, and may God bless you. I want to make sure that we understand how important it is to give thanks in this time. Let us also remember today that the sacrifice of friends and family who could not join us today. May we be especially mindful of those who have given their lives in the service of this country. And to those of you who are graduating, may you find purpose, honor, and fulfillment in the service upon which you embark today. May you protect the weak and vulnerable around you. May you find the strength to live courageously and with integrity. And may you know love, friendship, and camaraderie. May you also remember, always and everywhere, that you are a gift to all of us. Borrowing the words of President Abraham Lincoln, may your sacrifice and your service call all of us to confess and act through the better angels of our nature. May God truly bless all of you. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Father Sundrup. Really appreciate it. It's my honor to introduce the president of Xavier University, Dr. Colleen Hanich. Ma'am, we appreciate you taking the time out of your tight timeline of events this weekend to share in this special event with these 7 graduates. Thank you for your steadfast support in the All for One Battalion, and I personally look forward to continue to produce leaders of character alongside of you in the coming years. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Hanich.
Good afternoon. It is my absolute honor, as I have been able to do every year, to participate in today's commissioning ceremony. Let me welcome and thank Major General Glazer, especially for honoring us with your presence on this very momentous occasion. Today, I bring greetings and congratulations to the cadets before us, members of our All for One Battalion, who will shortly graduate from Xavier University and other nearby institutions of higher learning, and who today will become officers. I would also like to welcome and thank the families and friends of these young soon-to-be officers who will be commissioned today. Clearly, as much as our students have been supported by their faculty and those in the ROTC program who have assisted them along this journey, we know that parents are the first and most important teachers. It is you who modeled for them a love of country and a love of God, along with a commitment to service that has led to today. Thank you for all that you have poured into these men and women as they stand ready to serve this country with remarkable leadership. A very special greeting to those mothers and grandmothers here today, and those who have been like a mother to our students. We are honored by your presence on this special Mother's Day weekend. I would like also to thank my colleagues, Professor Stanfield, and the many members of the Xavier community who work so hard to support the ROTC program. It is my hope that our university and this program will continue to build upon its strong history and relationships in recognition of the profound impact that these men and women will have on our university and on our country into the future. As I prepared for today's welcome, I was reminded of the language of the oath that each of you will be asked to make shortly, a solemn promise to defend the Constitution of the United States. Not an oath to defend the land that we stand on, or the property that we hold, or even a promise to defend the people of this great nation. Rather, you will be making a solemn promise to defend the Constitution. We are all blessed by that oath that each of you will take, and the promise, God willing, that you will keep. This university takes tremendous pride in what you have accomplished already in your time with us. We are proud of what you have done to advance your education. We are proud of the friendships that you have developed and the communities that you have strengthened. We are inspired especially by your moral fortitude and your commitment to service, an unselfish service to others, that you will choose instead of, at times, advancing your own wants and interests, especially at a time of great division and conflict in our world. We need your leadership. In closing, it gives me tremendous pride to extend to each of you my very best wishes for the future as you embark upon your next chapter, and my very most sincere congratulations. May the God of wisdom, mercy, and compassion bless each one of you today and every day, and may he keep you always sheltered and safe wherever your travels take you. And for the Musketeers assembled here today in particular, I look especially forward to greeting you tomorrow as you cross the stage and in so doing begin your life after Xavier. It does exist. It's a real thing, I promise, with everything that it will hold for you. I have to depart now to attend to other graduation-related commitments, but deeply appreciate being able to offer these few words of congratulations today. Thank you, and all for one.
Thank you, Dr. Hanich. Today's commissioning ceremony will take place in 3 parts. First, the swearing of the oath. Second, the pinning of the gold second lieutenant bars. And third, the first salute. The Army officer's oath is a combination of constitutional requirement, historical influence, and centuries-old custom. Military oaths date back to ancient Rome, where soldiers pledged loyalty to a specific general for a specific campaign. While developing the oath of office for the United States officers, the Founding Fathers had serious concerns about pledging allegiance to any specific person. During the Revolutionary War, General George Washington issued a general order on May 7, 1778, that required all officers take and subscribe to an oath renouncing King George III and supporting the United States. Congress established the first official oath of office for U.S. military officers under the Constitution on June 1st, 1789. It was short and to the point, that officers would support and defend the Constitution of the United States. The significance of the officer's oath has remained unchanged throughout the years. While the wording has changed, the principle has remained constant. Officers swear or affirm their allegiance to the Constitution of the United States, not a president, not the Army, or any political party. The oath is more than a simple ceremonial formality. Rather, it provides the overarching guidance and a standard of moral conduct for officers to abide by. And now, to introduce today's guest speaker is the Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Les Stanfield.
It's my honor and privilege to introduce Major General David Glazer as our guest speaker and the officer administering the oath of office to these outstanding cadets in front of you. I encourage you to read his bio in the program, where you will find that General Glazer, after dedicating nearly 30 years of his life to soldiers, NCOs, and officers of our great Army, has remained a true humble professional, community leader. As an ROTC program graduate of 1985, he embodies the Army values and the Xavier University values in everything he does. I appreciate that despite your very tight schedule as the Chief Executive Officer for the President's Office at Sam Houston State University, you've returned 38 years, 11 months, and 18 days from the day that you were commissioned in Xavier in 1985, marking the beginning of your careers today. Without further delay, sir, thank you for being here today. Ladies and gentlemen, General David Glazer.
It is a pretty special day, and it just gets that much more special when the themes that you hear over and over again, whether it was the first speaker, Father, or the President, or now me, are kind of triangulated. So hopefully hearing it 3 times, it's going to sink in a way that'll stick, because I think that the lessons that you've heard are pretty important. But before getting started, I want to make sure that I say thank you to the Xavier University Reserve Officer Training Corps for the invite. It's pretty neat when you get to come back to the place where it all started and be part of the tradition. I also want to say special thanks to those who had a hand in planning today's events. They don't just come off. It's a lot of coordination, a lot of effort, and getting these things stood up that allows for us to celebrate in the way that it needs to be celebrated to honor this. And a little bit of extra special thanks to the Xavier ROTC alumni, people like Steve and Cindy Koenig, Todd Mayer, Mike Garrett, so many others who are passionate supporters of this program and the exceptional university whose reputation is known far and wide and continues to grow. So I want to start my remarks with a congratulations. And no, I'm not speaking to the about-to-be newly commissioned officers. If you're a parent or a grandparent or a sibling or relative, a friend or a cadre member, or even a teammate in ROTC, that congratulations is for you. I want that to sink in. I want that to sink in with this crew right here. And you heard the president and the priest, father, talk about this early. It's because your unwavering love, dedication, guidance, financial support, and sacrifice have in a large measure molded these individuals into the leaders they are today, those that will be leading our sons and daughters. Your wisdom and encouragement have provided a strong foundation for success, and your support has been a constant source of strength, whether you realize it or not. So at times like this, I think it's important to remember that no one gets anywhere of consequence in life alone. And this ceremony is a wonderful reminder of this fact. Just look at the support you have right here, right now. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and thank you for what you have done to make this day possible. But now I'd like to delve into the significance of this momentous occasion. Because being commissioned as an officer in the United States Army is not merely a commendable achievement. It is a testament to unwavering dedication, courage, and a profound sense of duty. It signifies a commitment to selfless service, to upholding the values of honor, integrity, and excellence, and to leading by example in the face of adversity, all things that you will be tested with. As many of you know, these about-to-be commissioned officers have undergone rigorous leadership and skills training, which have expanded both their physical and their mental development while preparing them to take on immense responsibilities. But beyond the accolades of the rank, it is their character, their integrity, and their commitment to serving something greater than themselves that truly sets them apart. They embody the values of selfless service, putting the needs of others above their own, and embodying the ethos of the Army profession. So as they embark on that noble journey, let us not forget the sacrifices that lie ahead. There will be missed holidays, sleepless nights, and the inherent dangers of serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. But let us also remember the profound impact they will have, the lives they will touch, the freedoms they will defend, and the legacy they will leave behind. Now, I could end my remarks right there, as you already recognize that being a commissioned officer is significant, and that it took a lot of work above and beyond academic studies to get to this day. But let me add some context to all those supporting our newly commissioned officers on what they are embarking on over the next 4 to 6 years. And I realize that I've got a lot of prior service people in here, those that continue to serve, so you'll be familiar with what I'm about to say. So as context, there are 1 million soldiers, Army, active Army, Army Reserve, and National Guard that serve this great nation. The operations that are conducted by this Army are global, and when needed, they are expeditionary. But what do I mean by that? When I say expeditionary, I mean I might be conducting my operations in a tent, in a field, a trailer, or while building my office, standing up and supporting operations. Things like stores, logistic bases, gas stations, and utility companies. Anywhere in the world, at any time, in defense of our national security interests. When I start at this million-person global conglomerate, I don't start with entry-level expectations. I don't start with entry-level expectations. From day one, as I report to my unit, on average, your second lieutenant will be responsible for the development, operational performance, training, health, and welfare of between 16 and 44 soldiers. Let me say that again. On day one, reporting to my unit as a second lieutenant, I was responsible for the operational performance, training, health, and welfare of 16 to 44 soldiers. That takes a special individual. If they stay in 4 to 6 years, they will most likely lead all aspects of an organization, a business, of 100 to 200 personnel, providing a specialty function to the Army like nursing, logistics, intelligence, policing, or potentially the most complex business the Army is charged with, being prepared to win, to fight and win in a national security of our nation is threatened. Activities such as infantry, armor, field artillery. Think about that. 4 to 6 years into a job, and you are asked to oversee all aspects of operations, human resources, budgeting, logistics, but most importantly, the daily operational support, planning, and training to prepare the organization for possible contingencies as broad as responding to complex catastrophes in support of civil authorities. As important as peacekeeping, or as critical as peacemaking. That takes uniquely qualified, highly trained, and self-motivated individuals with the right character, integrity, and commitment to service. And today, we will add 7 more to the roles of U.S. Army officers. To all those that have supported them along the way, I again offer my deepest gratitude. Your unwavering support has been the cornerstone of their success. But let me switch gears now and talk directly to the U.S. Army's next 7 officers. In 1985, I was commissioned with 9 fellow classmates, and like you, our class size was small, but it also made us quite close, with many of us staying in touch to this day, which has been both fun and rewarding. And reminiscing about this great group of cadets in our cadre, I was reminded of several short but powerful lessons in leadership that were learned here and applied as guides throughout my career. There were many, but I will focus on 2 I think are critical as part of this journey. The first one are the words of Lieutenant Colonel Fred Jeffords and Captain Andy Winarski, who told us frequently, and I paraphrase, "Remember the network that got you from birth to today, and then add this group of classmates and fellow officers to expand your ability to phone a friend for counsel or support in the days, months, and years ahead. Don't take them for granted. Invest in them, check on each other, and share the lessons learned, good and bad." Now, those words served our class incredibly well. And I hope that those words and investing in each other, this larger group to include your classmates, will serve you well as well. The second and most important lesson drilled into us was by Master Sergeant Kopis. He was the Xavier ROTC Senior Enlisted Instructor and a decorated Vietnam veteran, a Purple Heart recipient, and in my eyes, a brilliant leader. Master Sergeant Kopis never passed up the opportunity to state and then expound on the phrase, "Mission first, people are your priority." Let me talk about that a little more, about what his point was. Mission first, people are your priority. He said that personnel who know their chain of command will take care of them and are apt to do any mission assigned for them. They will do it willingly, and they will do it completely. It was more than just the soldier knowing their chain of command, however. It was the soldier knowing the chain of command cared for and about them. You can only do that by investing yourself in those you lead. Now, he also coupled that statement with the following words: "Lead by example, and you'll never have to ask twice." lead by example, and you'll never have to ask twice. His point: soldiers see your words played out in your actions, both moral and physical. That you are bound to be successful if you match the two, and they will ensure that you don't fail. So in closing, I could share a few more personal words of wisdom from my old Xavier ROTC days, like never go to Dana's when it's packed after a basketball victory to announce that you've been engaged. That's a completely separate story, best told over beers. Or the words of wisdom from lessons learned as a second lieutenant when the training NCOI brought me into the office and said, "Hey, sir, I need you to stop by range control and see if you can sign out the range fans. If you don't know that one, make sure you do before you go to range control, all right?" Do you guys know that one already? All right, we definitely did talk about this one. All stories that should be compiled in a book of wisdom and lore and kept in St. Barbara's Hall to generate laughs and stimulate memories of cherished days gone by. Instead of sharing more of those stories, I feel it more appropriate to close my remarks so we can get to the main event, commissioning these officers. That said, I'd ask you to remember the easy but hard to do messages previously referenced, not just by me, but the words the Father spoke first, the words that you heard from the university president, and the words that I repeated, the themes. Relationships matter. Relationships matter. Anything you do in life. So find a way to continue leveraging the coaching, the teaching, and wise counsel of your parents, of your siblings, your friends, and cadre that made this day possible. Everyone here, everyone, is invested in your success. All you have to do is ask. So keep that in mind. Second, great teams trump individuals. Great teams trump great individuals. I guarantee, and I don't make many guarantees in life, but I guarantee that you will be more successful if you, as a group, stay connected, sharing best practices, mistakes, and ideas on the profession. That's part of self-development. You'll have fun doing it, have support in difficult times, and benefit greatly from a broader understanding of the Army, because you're all about to hit stovepipes. The Army is more than armor, infantry, nursing, medical service. I'm sure I'm probably missing somebody, but you know what I mean there. And finally, in the Army, people are the priority. Let me say that again. People are the priority. It's not ships. It's not aircraft. And I know you guys are going to take this a little hard. It's not tanks. Okay? Why? Because your missions will be varied, complex, and most critically, human-centric. Human-centric. That's the differentiate between us and every other service. The Marines are really another part of the Army. Sorry to tell you guys that. They're Army on boats. But they're human-centric as well. So we're different than the other people that are equipment-centric. Because the missions we have to execute, the units you will lead will be asked to do hard things, which is why we say mission first. But as an example, during the long wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, air defense artillery and field artillery units were asked to lead efforts to promote the rule of law. Females who were serving as soldiers, officers in our United States Army from across the spectrum, nurses, military police, field artillery, it didn't matter the branch, were asked to serve in special forces units. Why? Because our missions are human-centric. When you really invest in your people, the skills that you need to be successful in every other endeavor, developing your emotional intelligence, understanding motivation and purpose and direction, all those things that you do every single day leading those 16 to 44 people you're going to start off with in day one of your unit will make you successful in every job that you have within the military and anything else that you decide to do in life. So in closing, as you're commissioned today, keep these proven techniques front and center on how you invest yourself. In doing so, you will go further, faster while handling the challenges and complexities presented with determination and resilience that will carry you forward each day. Congratulations to the team that brought you here. You've put 7 exceptional patriots into our force to lead this country into the future. God bless our newly commissioned officers and their family, all for one.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the oath of office. Please be seated. We will now move into the pinning of the bars and the first salutes. As your lieutenant stands and moves to the side of the stage, those pinning the bars and conducting the first salute can move to join them stage side. As I individually announce each lieutenant's name, friends and family should remain in place at the side of the stage while their lieutenant moves forward to receive their commissioning certificate. Once they take a picture with General Glazer, all friends and family pinning gold bars on their lieutenant should come forward on stage and do so. After the pinning and pictures, the individuals rendering the first salute may move forward to the lieutenant's left and administer the salute. At the conclusion of the first salute, we request that the second lieutenant and family members exit stage center. We encourage you to take pictures anytime your lieutenant is on stage. Lieutenant Bradley, post. Second Lieutenant Bradley of Franklin, Tennessee, will graduate from Xavier University with a bachelor's degree in nursing. She branched Nurse Corps and will attend the Basic Officer Leader course at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Pinning her gold bars is her mother, Wendy, and father, Doug. Rendering her first salute is the Senior Military Science Instructor, Master Sergeant Corcoran. Lieutenant Derzanowski, post. Second Lieutenant Derzanowski of West Chicago, Illinois, will graduate from Xavier University with a bachelor's degree in Communication Studies and Public Relations. He branched Armor. He will attend the Basic Officer Leader course at Fort Moore, Georgia. Pinning his gold bars is his mother, Katrina, and father, Nicholas. Rendering his first salute is the Senior Military Science Instructor, Master Sergeant Corcoran. Lieutenant Haynes, post. Second Lieutenant Haynes of Clarksville, Ohio, will graduate from Xavier University with a bachelor's degree in computer science. He branched armor and will attend the Basic Officer Leader course at Fort Moore, Georgia. Pinning his gold bars is his mother, Tia, and Colonel Haynes. Rendering his first salute is the Senior Military Science Instructor, Master Sergeant Corcoran. Lieutenant Honeycutt, post. Second Lieutenant Honeycutt of Cincinnati, Ohio, will graduate from Xavier University with a bachelor's degree in philosophy, politics, and the public. She branched Medical Service Corps and will attend the Basic Officer Leader course at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Pinning her gold bars is her mother, Tanya, and father, Ray. Rendering her first salute is the Senior Military Science Instructor, Master Sergeant Corcoran. Lieutenant Clark, post. Second Lieutenant Clark of Rochester, Michigan, will graduate from Xavier University with a bachelor's degree in nursing. He branched Nurse Corps and will attend the Basic Officer Leader course at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Pinning his gold bars is his mother, Jill, and father, Tom. Rendering his first salute is the Military Science Instructor, Sergeant First Class Robertson. Lieutenant Lay, post. Second Lieutenant Lay of Shelbyville, Indiana, will graduate from Xavier degree with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. He branched infantry and will attend the Basic Officer Leader course at Fort Moore, Georgia. Pinning his gold bars are his mother, Polly and Tara, and his grandmother, Pauline. Rendering his first salute is his father, Specialist Lay. Lieutenant Schlitt, post. Second Lieutenant Schlitt of Ashland, Ohio, will graduate from Xavier University with a bachelor's degree in international business. He branched artillery and will attend the Basic Officer Leader course at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Pinning his gold bars are his uncles, Major Joseph Morin and Major Richard Mormon. Rendering his first salute will be the Senior Military Science Instructor, Master Sergeant Corcoran. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the newest officers in the United States Army. Please join me in a round of applause. At this time, Lieutenant Derzanowski and Lieutenant Lay will present a small token of appreciation from their class to General Glazer.
Our class has pitched in to purchase a gift for Major General Glazer. Unfortunately, we ordered it in time, I'll tell you that, but it didn't come in time. So it's sitting at St. Barb's right now. But we'll get that to you this weekend, and for now, we're going to present you with the bat you can hit me with for not getting it.
What did Teddy Roosevelt say? You're going to carry a big stick.
All right, now give it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin singing the Army song, you can find the words in your program. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you all for coming. As the senior class moves stage center to pose for class pictures, I ask that you allow the photographer to finish her work before I invite the family and friends to also take pictures. Thank you.